like a Hellcat.
Hello, so it's 6 a.m, May the 19th, and it is the day of my knee surgery. And I'm a little bit scared, I'm not going to lie. And I don't make these vlog videos or anything like that, like some people do. But I thought, you know what, for my knee operation, I might just chuck together a few bits and pieces that I record throughout the next probably 2 or 3 days just to see how it goes. Not going to lie, I am a little bit worried, to be fair, because I've been waiting so long, like 11 months since I hurt my knee, and going through all the hassle of trying to prove that I'm genuinely hurt to the hospital and stuff has been a complete kerfuffle. But it's here, it's today, so hopefully, I'm really hoping, everything goes well. So I will probably check in with you again in a while. So I'm finally back home from the ACL surgery. Left here about 6:45 yesterday morning. Didn't get released from hospital till about 9 p.m. last night. The surgery went exactly how it should, to my knowledge. He didn't say there was any complications. Found out that my meniscus was perfectly fine. No damage had been caused in the last 11 months. Because obviously my MRI was taken 11 months ago, but because I've not had surgery, there could have potentially been damage to that, but he said that was fine, or if there had been damage, it had repaired itself, which was great, which means, you know, that would have added on additional recovery period and could have given me potential problems in the future like arthritis, so hopefully that won't be a factor. Surgery was done. Problems why I couldn't leave as soon as I thought was just because my heart rate was all over the place and my blood pressure was really low. Yeah, I felt fine in myself. I was just a bit dizzy, but I had to stay until they felt that I was actually okay to go. And then as a leaving gift before the hospital discharged me, they said I had to have an injection in my stomach, which was great. She said to me, oh, well, if you had layers of fat on your stomach, the injection wouldn't hurt. But unfortunately, my stomach is like probably the most muscled part of my body. So the injection just went straight into one of my abdomen muscles. And so that's been actually quite swollen, actually been quite painful. That was a blood thinner to stop me getting blood clots, which I don't want, obviously, or deep vein thrombosis or anything like that. So yeah, back home, got the initial set of exercises to do in my hamstring graft anterior cruciate ligament reconstruction guidebook. And I'm going to go and I'll go through those in a minute, I will. So the idea is that the huge bandage on my leg will come off tomorrow, and then I'll actually see in general, I suppose, what my leg looks like, and then those bandages underneath will come off at my follow-up appointment, which is going to be approximately 2 weeks. Not got a date for that. They said I'd get one through the post. So yeah, in about 2 weeks time, I'll go back and see the surgeon. He'll check. Hopefully everything will be okay. I won't have any mishaps or anything. And in the meantime, I will try and get physio. I don't have a physio appointment booked yet. Every time I tried to book one myself last week, couldn't get one, left a message, no one replied. So I've got my referral from the hospital now to take in on Monday, and hopefully I'll get a physio appointment really soon, because the sooner you start that, the better. Obviously, I've got my basic exercises to start with in here in terms of just trying to get your legs straight. Most important thing is getting your legs straight and then starting to get flexion in your leg, and then you can try and progress bit by bit. It's going to be really similar to when I actually injured it to start with, and obviously the ACL snapped. A lot of the exercises are pretty much going to be the same, and it's going to be building back up to that. Apart from this time, I should be able to get full flexion and extension eventually without the pain and maintain it. Whereas I could get full extension, but I couldn't get full flexion in my leg. It was like my knee would bend and then it would be obstructed, I think, where the ACL was snapped, and it was like coiled up or just in the way of my knee, flexing all the way. So hopefully that'll be solved, because, you know, that's got to be sorted before I can ever consider sports and running and all that kind of stuff again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip the camera off, take it into the bedroom, and I will show you all of my sort of like beginner exercises that I need to do on my rehab journey. So here we are in the bedroom, a room I've never filmed in before. You can probably see the little pictures on the wall from my kids and stuff many years ago. They're still up there. So the first exercise is sitting straight out, and you're basically rotating your ankles on both feet forward and backwards 10 times. So it's like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and you're basically doing that 10 times. That's the first one. When you do that, you get a pull in the back here, and then when you stretch again towards your calf, towards your knee. So it's basically trying to get these muscles working, because the important thing is straight afterwards is to try and get this leg flat so it can extend its full duration. So I'm going to finish my 10 sets of that, and then we will go on to the next one. Right, so we're on to the next exercise now. I've done my 10 sets of the first one. This one involves trying to get your injured leg straight on the bed. So you raise this leg up, and what I have to do is just try and use my muscles in my left leg to push down the back of my knee to try and make my knee flat against the bed. So basically it's going to be 10 sets, and you're going to be holding it for 5 seconds every time. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then you rest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Rest. And it might not look like I'm moving it much, to be honest, but obviously this is the first day of rehab, and I can feel it moving down a bit, so that's the most important thing. And of course I've done all this before, so I kind of know the slow progress that it's going to be. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And what I'm going to be doing as well is making a video for somebody else who's actually someone who I know, who was working with me up until recently, and she left. And then I only found out yesterday, on the day of my surgery, that she actually got injured 2 months ago skiing. And it sounds like she suffered basically the exact same injuries to me: a ruptured ACL and damage to her MCL and LCL. So I'm going to do a video with lots of stuff for her, but obviously everybody will be able to see it. But anyway, I'll carry on with these. Okay, so the next exercise, if you want to call it an exercise, is basically a 2-minute rest of your legs hanging off the bed and just falling and resting naturally. So I'll show you what I mean. You've got to turn over onto your stomach. Easier said than done. I think this way is probably a better way to turn. And then your legs just have to hang off the edge of the bed and rest in a kind of like natural position for 2 minutes. So I'm going to lie like this for 2 minutes, and then I will go on to the next exercise. Trying to give you the best possible view for this one, because it's actually hard to do. My camera on the stand can't tilt that far, but this is the hardest exercise to do so far, and that is because of all of this bandage on the knee. What I do want to point out is that I've watched a load of videos of people recording their progress, sort of like their vlogs, their daily process, and judging from like how I feel on the first day and the day after surgery, I'm ahead of every single other person that I've seen in these videos. I can hobble around without my crutches, and I'm probably about 10-15 years older than all of these other people that I've seen doing their ACL recovery. So to me, it kind of feels like I put in a lot of work before, like the past 11 months, trying to get the muscles back in my leg to match my right. And I'd got pretty much, 85%, 90% maybe of the muscle power back in my leg completely. So I actually feel like that's going to help me make progress, hopefully slightly quicker than a lot of the other people in the videos they've seen. Anyway, next exercise involves sitting on a chair, getting your good leg, placing it in front of the injured leg, and basically trying to get your good leg to push the injured leg back. Now, this one is just repeat 10 times for as much as it allows, as much as your knee can basically bend, which is probably no more than 90 degrees, if I'm perfectly honest, in this kind of bandage. And I do get soreness where the stitches are when I'm trying to do this one. So it is actually a bit tougher. I feel like my knee could bend a lot more, but with this kind of bandage on, it's actually really tough to do it. So like, you know, that's almost at 90 degrees, which is probably better than what I was. I am in a better position than when I actually injured myself and was doing the rehab then. I'm in a better position now, even though I've had surgery the day before. I'm in a better position that I was like 11 months ago, in my opinion, definitely, I think. And then bring it back, and then tuck it in with your other leg. It's hard because I kind of feel like my chairs could probably do with being a little bit taller for this one, although it would obviously help if I didn't have the bandage on too. Like 90 degrees feels like that's probably the best I can do with this support on, because it's really tight around the top of my knee. If you haven't noticed as well, I got a piano for free. I did. Literally day before my surgery, I went up to Caldecott in a van, rented a van. A couple of people came with me, my sister's boyfriend and someone I've known who used to work with me, who's like bodybuilder kind of a muscle guy, and we needed his help definitely, because we got this piano for free, put it in the back of the van, drove it here, carried it up the stairs, brought it in. So that is going to keep me occupied whilst I'm off sick, basically, because I'm learning to play the piano. And obviously I think, 6 weeks is quite a bit of time, and I'm just thinking, should be able to make a bit of progress in that time, hopefully. What I'm going to do is I'm going to finish these sets and then wrap up the video. So I actually forgot there's one more exercise before I wrap up the video, and that is the longest one and the most boring one. It is basically setting yourself up, a couple of chairs, a pillow on that chair, lifting up your injured leg like this, and basically sitting with your leg basically hanging or relaxing into the full extension for 10 to 15 minutes, and literally just sitting here for that long, trying to let it extend as much as it can. And it is very tight, I'm not gonna lie. It is really tight on the back. Obviously, I could get full extension before the surgery, but it did still feel a bit tight on the back. This genuinely feels a lot tighter. Obviously, I've got where the incisions were made, it's sore from the stitches. That doesn't help. This bandage, obviously, being so bulky around the knee, doesn't help either. I'm hoping that when I take this off tomorrow at midday, that it will make this exercise and the previous exercise a bit easier, because they're hard to do. I'm not really sure how straight my leg is either, because of the size of the bandage. And yeah, so you're literally sitting here for the full duration of time. So I've started with 10 minutes. I did it 10 minutes yesterday when I did it 10 minutes earlier on today. I'm going to try and do the exercises 3 times a day. I've not really got any excuse not to be fair. So sort of like first thing in the morning, sort of like midday, maybe this kind of time, 2, 3 o'clock, and then do them again later on about 7 o'clock, probably every day. And that is the idea for 2 weeks until I have my follow-up appointment. So I'll finish off this and then I will wrap up the video. So there you go. That is the exercise plan that I've got to follow. You might be wondering why I've got gloves on. That is because I've been doing my upper body stuff, weights and stuff, because all my other training stuff I can't do. So I'd usually do 5 miles on the exercise bike. Can't do that anymore. I'd usually use my sit-up bench, do 100, and I'm on 105, I think 105 sit-ups at the moment. Can't do that anymore. Can't use my ab roller on the floor either because, yeah, I can't kneel on my knees because of my operation. So I'm kind of limited, can't use my barbell for the squats, which is why I've split it down into my two smaller weights like this, so I can do like bicep curls and tricep curls and a few other things with that, just to keep myself ticking over, because I'm not gonna just be laying around for like weeks and months and just let myself get out of condition. I'll just have to kind of like change the sort of training that I do. So the exercises for my knee, the ones I showed you, I've got to do those 3 times a day at minimum, basically. So my idea is do them when I get up, do them in the middle of the day, do them at the end of the day, until I see the physio, whatever that'll be, sometime within the next 2 weeks, obviously, hopefully sometime this coming week. And then obviously a follow-up appointment in 2 weeks to hopefully see that everything is where it should be, nothing's moved or anything like that. I'm sure I'd notice if it does, but so far so good. I've still got a lot of numbness in my leg, to be fair, from like the just above my knee down to, you know, around about my ankle. I've still got like, it still feels like there's anesthetic in it. So hopefully, I'm assuming that'll wear off over the next few days. It did say it can take up to like a week for the full effect of the anesthetic to wear. Obviously, I can move my leg and I can move my toes and everything all like that. So yeah, you know, that is it. That is the first 2 days of my sort of like recovery progress. Obviously, I set myself a target. I wanted to try and play football by the turn of the year in time for my birthday. Obviously, that's only, you know, 7 months away. So it's optimistic at best. Obviously, you have to take into account like professional athletes get all the equipment, the physio every day of the week. Whereas I'm at home. I'm probably going to see a physio once a week maybe. And it's just not going to be anything the same. So it's all really going to fall on me and how committed I am, as well as the fact that, you know, I'm going to have to go back to work after like 6 weeks or something, which is, you know, crazy. I'm still going to try and work around the exercises around work whilst trying not to hurt myself at work as well. It's just going to be pretty crazy, to be honest. But that is it so far. If you've watched it, well done, because it's probably a pretty long, pretty boring video. It's nothing to do with computer games or anything. It's just literally showing you my first 2 days, what it's like recovering from something like this. And like I said, I will post other videos to show my progress as time goes by. That is it for today. Thank you for watching, and I shall be back in the future for another SAT review. Goodbye for now.